Our passion didn't start with the mouth. It started with people, with the well-being of the profession, and if you're like me, maybe a little bit of your nerdiness in all things tech too. We all want to love what we do, but the truth is, burnout, people problems, and glass ceilings can keep us from doing what we set out to do. So let's get back to the heart of connection. Welcome to the Dental Handoff. This show is about passing you the knowledge, the habits, the systems, and the strategies to lead your teams, lean on the tech, and listen to your gut while you take care of teeth. And let's get honest, the overall health of our communities. Let's stop using the wrong end of the toothbrush, y'all. My name is Dr. Kelly Tanner. Oh, and uniquely, I'm a dental hygienist, too. You can consider me a guru in the dental and leadership industry. With over 3 decades of experience, my goal is to take you to the next level by empowering growth, perspective, and confidence. By identifying the gaps, recognizing the plaque, and extracting the truth with other experts in the field. I'll share their stories, empower you to own yours, and elevate your passion in the process. So have a seat in the chair, put on your bib, and let's get to work. Hello. We are live. This is the Dental Handoff. I am Dr. Kelly Tanner. I have the pleasure of having Allison Lacoursiere with me today. We are in Bermuda in a hotel lobby because that's just where we are, and we're being vulnerable today. But since I was with Allison, I wanted to just have a chance to share her story, her perspective, because she has so much to offer the dental industry. Allison, thank you for being with me here
Thank you for being here with me in Bermuda and for coming to see me. And I'm excited to chat about that a little bit, but it's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. So Allison, you started off very young in dentistry, as did I. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I started off in dentistry. I was 17 when I went to dental assisting school. I graduated when I was 17 from high school, went into dental assisting when I was 17, graduated when I was 18, and went right into orthodontic assisting, and then got a job offer in Bermuda. So when I was 19 years old, as a dental assistant and orthodontic assistant, I actually moved to Bermuda to work in a practice here. And there was a lot of opportunity. And I say that in a nice way of there was a lot of things that needed to be fixed in the practice, but I like to see it as it was a lot of opportunity for me to see some problems and find solutions for them. And so what I did was sit down with my doc and we made a goal, we made a plan, and we started to knock things off the list and really start to grow the practice. And so from there, I moved into being a treatment coordinator. I moved into being an office manager, and I managed the practice for 5 years and ended up going and getting my professional coaching certification because I really loved people. I loved to develop people, to help grow people. And then I started my own business, Clear Coaching, and now I spend my time growing, training, systemizing teams for high performance, for clear aligners, for Instagram and social media marketing. And yeah, it's been a fun journey.
Wow. That's a lot in a short amount of time too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of growth. What do you find that is, if you had to choose like one main issue that is a struggle or an opportunity for practices every day that you see, what would be that one struggle / opportunity?
Yeah, I would say probably it's one of my biggest and most important mantras that I say to teams, that I say in my team all the time, is that we are humans first and we are professionals second. And so the struggle that I see, I think a lot of the struggles that I see are kind of symptoms of not treating ourselves or treating people like humans first, and really focusing on the human aspect of being our best self, the healthiest, the most hydrated, the well-rested, the well-slept, the best mindset, the best skill set. Like if we can focus on that human element, all the symptoms that we're seeing in dentistry and essentially every industry, like burnout, lack of communication, lack of confidence, all of these things can be solved through really focusing on developing yourself and being the best human being you can be so that you can be the best professional and the best team member that you can be.
How do you even start that? I mean, I know you and I have been on our own journeys, but how do you recommend to offices for people you coach to even start? Where do they start?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good question. The good news is when I first started on the road of self-development and personal development, I was just reading physical books, and they're still so available to you. You know, there's so many books that you can just start reading with your team, with your practice. that you can really just start to understand some of these concepts. And we're going to share a couple of them with you today, but just start reading about this, like reading about what it means to be a high performer, reading about what it means to be a good leader, and just start to get into that mindset. And then from there, you can take some online courses, you can get a coach. But really, I think it comes down to, as a practice, as a person, as a team member, really understanding like, where do you want to go? And then reverse engineering it. And you're going to find the small daily action steps to be able to get there. So I would say if you're going to start, just start by establishing, what are my goals? What do I want? Where do I want to go? What are some of the things that are really getting in the way right now? And then start to get the knowledge and resources and mindset development to be able to help you move forward.
And so what I'm hearing too is it's really important for your whole team to be a part of this either.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what I hear from doctors I coach, they'll say, well, where do I start with this if my whole team, or just team members, where do I start with this if everybody's not on the same page? And I always recommend start with yourself, because people will start to see that change in you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what are you doing that's different? You look better. You're acting differently. Your mood's different. So how do you, what is your recommendation if a whole office isn't there yet? Like how one person decides to make this and change, because they are reading the books, they're doing all the things that you're talking about, and then stepping back into that office.
Absolutely. And so I would say it really does, like you said, it starts with yourself. And then also being able to meet people where they are. And so I personally went on my own leadership, track. I was very excited. I was very passionate about it. And I didn't really communicate in a way that helped other people feel excited about it. They probably felt a bit judged, to be honest. And so as a leader in my practice, I was like, these are the things that we're going to do. This is where we're going. But we really have to meet people where they are and help them understand and have their own buy-in. We all want something. We all want growth. We all want, to be happy in our lives. We all want to have more peace, more joy at work. So I would say if you're a leader, which you are, because everyone's a leader, is to come into your practice and understand, how do we get people to buy into the process and what's in it for them? What is in it for them to start to develop their leadership skills, to develop their personal habits? It's a big, it's a big key to this, because my why is not Kelly's why. My why is not my team's why, but understanding your team's why and then helping them have the skills and the tools to develop is going to help them be really motivated and excited to do it.
And then hopefully you can get everybody on board and say, this is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. And this is how it serves your why as people come to you.
Exactly.
And to make those little bitty steps, because I think too, what can be demotivating is when you're that person showing up in that office and you might be annoying people at first.
Exactly.
You're so,
oh my gosh. That was me. And I will be very transparent and vulnerable about that. I was 24 years old. I was an office manager and my whole team, was older than me. And so I was there just like all this energy. I was like, we're going to set goals. We're going to do all this stuff. And my team's like, oh, you're scary. And so that was a big learning lesson for me, was really just understanding, like, meet people where they are and don't pressure them. Don't judge them. Don't push them like past, you want to push people to grow, but like find a way to partner with them first and then move forward together and co-create the experience rather than say, this is where we're going. Be like, how do we build this together?
Yeah, that partnership and co-creation is what I think makes it stick.
Yeah.
And gives your office traction, gives you personal traction, and then something that you can link back to say, how are you doing with serving your why? I can see that you're amped up about this.
Yeah.
And then together you rise up as office, as team, as how you're showing up in the community, what it is you're providing. And so, Alice, talk about, if you don't mind, that was great. That was like brilliant advice for people to like show up and they know that they're going to be annoying, possibly, or maybe other people just say, I want the Kool-Aid you're drinking too.
Exactly. There will be, and I think that's important to know. There will be people that are like rah rah with you, and there are people that be like, nope, I don't feel safe here. I don't trust this, and it really is being able to to partner with them. So.
Yeah. And then so when you talk a lot about clear aligners and scaling the practice with clear aligner therapy, tell us how that works. Like, what does that even mean?
Absolutely. So I love clear aligners, and I grew up in dentistry, started as an orthodontic assistant, and just the transformation that you get to see through orthodontics is something that I became very passionate about very early. And then I realized also that clear aligner therapy in a practice is almost its own practice within a practice, because it's its own it's its own system that if you can make it really, really efficient, you can have your team run it, and the doctor is going to be able to take better care of his patients, do the work that only he or she can do, and the team gets to really run that chair or run that practice. And so what it really means to grow your clear aligner practice is to, one, establish the realization that comprehensive dentistry equals orthodontics and restorative every time. And other things, but for the sake of this conversation, comprehensive dentistry always equals orthodontics and restorative. And so how I help practices is I go in with a different treatment philosophy or different treatment mindset to understand that every single time we are looking at a patient, we're looking at these three things. We're looking at their tooth health, their gum health, and the way that their teeth meet together. Those are the three ways that people lose teeth. And we want to prevent them from losing their teeth and having their teeth for life. That's what, holistic or comprehensive preventative dentistry really is. And so I help practices change that mindset. So what happens after they change that mindset is that they look at orthodontics. They look at the opportunity to treat patients with orthodontics every single time. That's just part of their lens. It's in a new patient exam. They never miss. Does this patient have a class 1, class 2, mild crowding, posterior open bite, like whatever it is, they're always looking at it because it's a foundational aspect of comprehensive dentistry. And so once we get that lens, once we understand that, and the whole team knows the why behind understanding and talking about clear aligners or talking about orthodontics in general, then we start to put systems in place. And so the systems are just small touch points that you do every single day as a practice. Every single person knows who's doing what, when, and how, and why. And it creates this momentum in a practice where we start to do a lot more clear aligners, because 76% of your patients that are walking in your practice still have malocclusion. And so 76% of the time you should be talking about it. And so with that new lens, the new treatment philosophy, with the systems, the team members are starting to do these things every single day, which builds this beautiful clear aligner practice that I help the team run and handle. And so when I was a dental assistant in my practice, I became a manager, and I was like, I still want to be the Invigilator. I love it so much. And so twice a week, 2 full days a week, I was seeing about 25 to 30 patients in my chair. And so we were doing clear aligner checks, we were doing bonding, scanning, we were doing debonding. Like I was running that operatory. And so I teach other practices how to create their dental team member, whether it be a dental hygienist, a dental assistant, to run that operatory so that they can, take that weight off of the doctor's shoulders, and the doctor can be doing the restorative dentistry while the team member is running the Invisalign or the clear aligner practice.
That's brilliant, because you're taking that doctor's time and you're amplifying it to what he or she can do, while the team members take ownership of the rest of that piece of the practice.
The wild part was that I started tracking. I was like, I'm big into tracking metrics. Like I'm a really big nerd when it comes to things like that. Like, let's measure this.
Oh, she is.
And so I started measuring that, and we were on a leaderboard in my practice to see in dentistry, each provider's profitability, and we got to see like this leaderboard. And I was like, let me make myself just my own provider as a dental assistant. And we were competitive with other full-time associates in the country. So myself as a dental assistant was running such a profitable clear aligner chair, Invisalign chair, that we were competitive with our monthly production that I was creating and fulfilling to another associate in a practice. So I just want you guys to understand, like, what is the power and potential here? And so if you're doing clear aligners right now and you're like, holy smokes, my team's actually not running it, or you're a team member and you're like, I could be doing that. There's so much power in these processes and these systems. And just to really passionate about this, this, you take better care of your patients. Yeah. You are able to take better care of your patients because let's be honest, a dental assistant or dental hygienist is going to have a little bit more time than the doctor does to be able to build that relationship, to give them that experience, to take that extra time to, help them understand how to wear their aligners. And it's just, this is the way I feel that aligners should be run in a practice.
So if a doctor says, Allison, I want you to come in and coach my team, what should they expect their yield to be like? What kind of differences have you made in practices? Like, these are your numbers. Yeah. Talk me through like how exciting that part is. Because she's mentioned this to me before and I'm like, no.
So last year, we literally doubled a practice's production. Doubled it straight up. Just doubled it. Less doctor time, less doctor chair time, and the numbers doubled. So that's not always the case, but it's pretty dang close most of the time. And like when we talk about going from not doing clear aligners to doing clear aligners, that's a huge jump in profitability. But even if we go from doctor run clear aligner practice to team run clear aligner practice, we literally double your production. Because why? If you're billing at, let's say, $500 an hour, and doctor's billing $500 an hour, and he's got clear aligner checks and bondings and all these things in his chair, her chair, and we get to take that out and put them into another chair where he still gets to do everything that he needs to do and can only do, and your team's running the rest, you've multiplied your production.
Yeah, makes sense. But it has to be that willingness to change too, because it's the change, first of all, to get your mindset around, okay, do I feel confident enough to offer the clear aligner therapy? Because that's where I find that some people are like, some docs are like, okay, how do I manage this? How do I ease into this? And then they want to feel comfortable with it. And then the next step sometimes is for them to scale to say, now I need to feel comfortable with delegating this to my team.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And it's a process, right? Like you start somewhere. You're not going to be comfortable the moment you start doing clear aligners the first day. You just won't. You're going to learn. Just like you learned how to do a root canal the first time, and just like you learned how to do a crown, whatever it is, you're going to learn. And it just takes practice, and it takes the intentionality around learning when you're running up against a problem. Like, how do we solve this? Who can I ask? And the good news is today, 10 years ago, I was sneaking into orthodontic conferences. I was sneaking into doctor lectures and pretending I was a dentist. Don't tell anyone.
I think now we all know.
We all know. But I was hungry for knowledge and information, and there was nobody out there, like me, who teaches other people how to do clear aligner systemization and skill set in the dental office. So I was sneaking into doctor lectures to try and learn. So the good news is there's so many resources available to you now. And if you want to do this, and if you want to grow your practice in this way, you 100% can. And there are ways that you can learn the information that you need to be confident.
Yeah, because I know that there's a way to have this high touch VIP experience with you and your company. And then also there's other coaching programs that you're aware of. What programs do you find that work?
Absolutely. So I am affiliated with Moelis Coaching. Ryan Moelis and I, we have the same mindset when it comes to having the team take over, drive the bus, just drive the clear aligner bus. And so we really aligned on that. And so I developed his online program for clear aligners. So that's an absolute opportunity. It's, you can take the courses online, you can learn that way. When you work with me, I'm essentially in your practice. So it's a very high touch, a very VIP experience, like Kelly said, where I'm actually on your Slack channel or on your in-office communication channel, answering questions daily. You get to come to Bermuda to see me. We do in-office training. I go to your practice. We do in-office training. I observe, I listen. And then throughout the year, you have a really, really powerful curriculum to take you to the next level. And guess what? We start with humans first. So we start with that high performance coaching, where I, help your team and you and your doctor be able to really focus on how do you become the best human being first. And then we're going to talk about how to be the best professional. And then we're going to talk about how to be the best clear aligner practice next. So it's a full curriculum for the year that we go through, and you learn really powerful ways to up-level your skill set and mindset in practice. So I love what I do. It is so fun. And the transformation I get to see, it goes way beyond your profitability. It goes way beyond your production. It really is, transformative, because that's why we're in dentistry. I think that we love to help people and we love to transform lives. And so you do that with clear aligners very, very easily.
Yeah. I don't think it's of course about the whoa that you can offer the patients, but about what people discover about themselves by pushing themselves through that growth mindset to that next level of I can do this. You know what? Wasn't perfect that time, but now I have access to education through Allison or through Moelis Coaching or however it is that you're getting that other piece fulfilled, so you can learn, so you can adapt, so you can change and overcome, to build that stronger team that's going to stay, that's going to stay in your practice, feel fulfilled, knowing that they're serving their mission because it's co-created. And then, so you've been in the industry for a while, you've had a lot of touch points with a lot of different folks in the industry on many different levels. So what kind of advice would you offer people just in terms of what it takes to be a high performing dental team member?
Yeah. I mean, I would say, Kelly and I are kind of living by example right now in that sense of like, we had a pretty tough schedule today, but we're like, we're going to do this podcast. It's on the schedule. We're going to make it happen. And right now, the lighting that you're seeing is my phone propped up against a computer. And, we're in a lobby of a gorgeous hotel. But we found solutions, and we got creative. And so I would say one of the first things I would say as a high performing dental team member is, instead of focusing on the problem or saying, I can't do this, or this isn't ideal for me, or I don't have the perfect situation, it's how do I make this work? And how do I show up the best way that I can every day? And, something I get a lot of when I'm talking to teams is, they come to me with a lot of their complaints, which it's totally fair enough. Like, I complain about things all the time. However, we have a choice. And so with anything that you're complaining about, any frustration or any thorn in your side right now, ask yourself the question, what or how can I X, Y, and Z? What or how can I solve, fix, change, move forward personally? Because that is all we get to do. And so I would say that was one of the most radical shifts in my mindset was, instead of feeling this is happening to me, this is happening for me, so that I can get creative, so that I can find a solution, so that I can move the needle forward in a way that is going to make a meaningful impact, because we can't control other people. If you're working in a dental office right now and you're like, I am so frustrated by my office manager, by my dentist, like I don't like it here. We have 3 options. We get to get over it, we get to fix it, or we get to move on. Find a new practice, find a way to fix your practice, or we let it go. So you always have an option. And I would say that, like, knowing that you have that power is going to help you grow in so many different ways, because you're really going to start looking for the solution rather than sitting in the problem. And I would say, yeah, that's one of my, it really was the most transformative mindset shift that I had was, I'm in control of this and I get to change it. And now it's fun because I've, lived in that mindset for so long. I'm like, what can I do? What can I create? How far can we go? Like, what can't I do? And that's when it gets really fun. And so just knowing, like, you can do whatever you want. You can change whatever you want. And like, you're in the driver's seat here.
Keeping humans first.
Humans first. Yeah.
And I think with that too, it's that understanding others and trying to put yourself in their situation and not trying to like bulldoze people with what you're trying to do, 100%. But to work, again, to go back to the concept that you talked about, to co-create whatever it is. So come to folks and say, here's, I think, how we fix it. What do you guys think about this? And to then overcome that with solutions. And then again, it's kind of back down to those 3 choices, right?
Exactly. And I know those 3 choices kind of sound a little bit like, straight up. However, it's important, I think, to know sometimes we feel like we're not at choice, but we truly are. And so I think once we recognize that personal power that we have, then it goes into, building that relationship with another person, that co-creation, like taking personal accountability and then building beautiful relationships with people to be able to help you grow. It's so powerful when you can collaborate and co-create things together, and it's a lot more fun.
Yeah, totally. So how do people find you? How do they work with you?
Absolutely. So I love Instagram. I teach Instagram to all my practices. I think it's really, really important. It's the millennial resume. It's your digital resume. It's the millennial website. I'm obsessed with Instagram. So you can find me on Instagram at Your Clear Aligner Coach. That is probably the easiest way to connect with me. You can also email me, Allison at yourclearalinercoach.com, or my website, yourclearalinercoach.com.
So Instagram, as well as high performance teams. That's awesome, because you're taking people, because I think it's important not to just have what you have going on in the office, but to show people what transformation you can offer them.
Exactly.
So that you're also teaching that practice marketing.
Exactly. And really, like, this, I would say the through line with everything that I do is that this is the future of dentistry. The future of dentistry is orthodontics and restorative every single time in our practice philosophy, clear aligners. It is effective digital marketing, utilizing social media effectively, authentically, to be able to show the world who you are, what you stand for, what makes your practice different. And then it's high performance teams. It's being able to show up to work and love your job every single day and live in your passion, live in your mission, no matter what role you are in the dental office. It's showing up and having the opposite mindset of another day, another dollar. No, this is my career. This is my passion. This is my purpose. And I'm living into that. And so everything that I do, really, the through line is the future of dentistry. And that's what I want to help create in the future of dentistry. And, yeah, so these are the things that I talk about.
Powerful.
Thank you.
And then Allison and I are also working on some fantastic things that will be coming soon to you and your inboxes. Make sure that you are following me and then also Allison as well. We have some exciting things just like within the next month that are going to be announced to you. I'm on Next Level DH, and you probably already here because you found me. But Allison, thank you so much for your valuable time
Thank you.
today and
Pleasure.
for having me here in Bermuda
Oh
with
my
you.
gosh, guys, I'm so excited for you to see the things that we're creating, to serve the industry, to up level all of our team members and yeah, just continue to serve the dental industry is what we're here for. So
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you loved what you heard today, do us a favor and give us 5 stars on Apple. 5 stars on Apple. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.